welcome to the Nyancast. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And today is a little special episode, Nyancast After Dark.
It's a little late.
It is late, that's the only reason why. There will probably be no more or less swearing and or lewd things discussed than normal.
I'll be just as unfiltered as usual.
Alright, so today we're discussing a really great movie that we just had the pleasure and privilege of seeing called Porco Rosso.
Yes, our theater doing like a year of Ghibli kind of thing.
Yeah, so previously, the one fucking movie that we should have watched is The Cat Returns. And
that was last month.
Yeah, that was last month. So yeah, like every month they've got a different Ghibli movie they're doing. It's called like Year Ghibli.
Is it just like a random order, or was it just like kind of like?
I think it is just a random order.
Yeah, because I think Ponyo or Ponyo was like the first one. That was that's like a more recent one.
Yeah, Ponyo. Yeah, that's the second to last Miyazaki movie.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not even like it's on Miyazaki. Like there's some what's his name? Shintaro.
I'm the last person to ask about names.
Yeah, there's. I feel like such a fake fan right now.
I know Miyazaki and Anno, and they're the only two I can know names name-wise.
There's another really big guy. He did Grave of Fireflies. He's like the second dude. He actually just died recently. I feel like you need to get his name. Yeah, he recently died.
Oh.
He was really old, but he was that guy that was always like right under Miyazaki as like the biggest known anime director, at least as far as like making classics.
Yeah. So this movie was made in '92, which I thought it would be a little bit later than that, but okay. So his name is Isao Takahata. Mm-hmm. He's the guy that just died. He did Grave of Fireflies and several others. Yes, it was. Yeah, you said 1992. Mm-hmm. It was just gorgeous. Yeah. It was a very pretty,
gorgeous film.
But yeah, so I really like how it's a lot of stuff I like about it, like little things in it too, like a lot of attention to detail.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that you really only get in these kind of big budget, like anime movies, like Studio Ghibli. They just every little detail is perfect. Everything is.
It's one of those movies where
gorgeous.
It's like like you're made like. In Japan, like Japanese movie, it's like a lot of it's mainly like European, like a lot of European stuff in there. So like everyone's like a Japanese person.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I went to. I think it mostly set in Croatia. They don't explicitly say that in the movie, but I know last year I went traveling in Europe, and I actually went to Croatia in a city called Dubrovnik, which is gorgeous, and it's kind of like the setting of
main place there in like in Milan.
Yeah, he goes to Italy too. But when I was in Dubrovnik, I saw they had like a little hall of like they have a little movie theater in like the old city, and the old city's gorgeous. It looks like an old fort from like over 500 years old, and they have a little thing in the movie theater of all these like famous people that have been there, and I saw Miyazaki. I was like, "What the heck?" And then later on, I find, he based so many of the island locations of Porco Rosso from that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was just funny. I was like, all right, all these random like Hollywood stars, like, there's a Japanese dude.
But there was like all the foreign stuff, like you saw the flags and everything. But like there was also the one part where like they sing in French, like even like the dub is sung in French, which is like really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, it's really fun to see that setting, like that European setting. Especially it's like a very specific period and like pre-World War II, like the cusp of World War II.
Between World War One and Two.
Yeah, and you can tell like
30s, like early 30s.
Mm-hmm. He even makes comment about like Italy being run by the fascists. So
yeah,
it's like easily like mobilization for war.
Background like spray paint saying fascists and whatnot.
Yeah, I like that all like the newspapers and stuff were all in like Italian or at least like Balkan languages.
Yeah. So I guess if you had to explain the plot then, Jim?
Okay, so basically Porco Rosso, I think his name was Marco Rosso.
No, Marco was the officer.
I think the whole thing was his name. He was Marco.
I guess where Marco was like the
because his name wasn't Porco. He adopted the name Porco.
His name
after he was cursed.
It was yeah, okay.
So yeah, it's about an Italian fighter pilot who he's
Pigman.
They allude to him fighting in World War I as a fighter pilot, and they didn't explicitly explain it in the movie, but there's a scene where he has a kind of like a near-death experience. Yeah. And it's implied that he kind of loses his humanity in a way. Yeah. And how this is represented in the film is they call it a curse. He's been cursed to look like a pig. So he's this fat like pig man with like a snout. He doesn't have like hooves or anything.
No, he has the ears, like floppy ears though. Too.
Yeah, he's the snout and the ears, and like he's just fat and
he snorts. He snorts when he laughs too hard.
He does snort. I really love his design so much.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's good too.
Yeah, and he's not he doesn't really move around a bunch. It's just he seems the perfect, like he's lazing about all the time.
Yeah, you don't really see him move that much until like the very end.
Mm-hmm. So basically, he ends up becoming a bounty hunter. So in this world, there's like a lot of because there's like chaos in the local governments. There's a lot of these like plane pirates that go around and like
rob ships.
But the thing is, no one takes them really seriously. There's a really lighthearted nature to the world.
I think it feels like the people in the ship know it's coming, but they're so used to it, or like there's some attraction. Like all the kids like come like just the crowd like into the plane already.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to like try and kidnap them. The parents like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah. So the beginning scene is these hilarious. I love the pirates so much. They were great. They like take over a ship and they abduct like a whole class of like these little girls.
Kids.
They're like 5 years old. They're like super little, and they're just like having the time of their life, just playing with all of like gold and stuff that the treasure. And then so Porco Rosso, he comes in and he like specifically only shoots the engines. He doesn't kill.
Engine and like the wings and tail, like the plane, not the people, like the pilots or anywhere a person would be.
Which is, later on we learn he's like pretty much like not a pacifist, but he's definitely
he learned to kill. Yeah, he doesn't want to kill any pilots.
He has like a deep remorse for that.
Yeah.
Then this new hotshot American guy comes in and starts kind of like...
From Texas.
Yeah, he's literally from Texas, which is hilarious. He starts kind of like shoving his weight around, saying, oh, I'm being paid by all these pirate guys to take Porco Rosso out. He ends up... Porco, who is... His plane needs repair, so he's driving...
His engine's very shoddy.
Yeah, so he's driving... Or flying, rather.
To get it repaired.
Yeah, to get it repaired. And during that, his engine's cut out, and the American guy thinks he beats him in a dogfight. But then we have a scene... Or then
he goes to Milan to get the rest of his like plane equipment completely repaired.
Yeah, and this is kind of like the movie had a really nice pace at this point. This kind of tones down a little bit. There's a couple really fun action sequences though. Like there's a driving sequence where he drives a truck.
Yeah,
he's being trailed by like secret police.
Well, he goes to his repair person Piccolo. And
this goofy little Italian man.
Yeah, and his Italian-American granddaughter also like does the design of her new plane.
Yeah, she's like that typical like Miyazaki like hot fire young girl. Well, yes, okay. Sam he hasn't seen many, but
no, first one to really get through.
There's kind of a trope in Miyazaki's work where he always has like a young girl who's like really independent. She's really like a spitfire.
Everyone's gotta say how pretty she is.
She of course is gorgeous, and they always kind of all look the same.
Yeah,
but
they do.
The whole it's kind of like the embodiment of like youth and like beauty, but also like energy. And she's like this great engineer, and she's able to like she's not like the best. Like he corrects her when she's making the ship or making his plane again. But basically, what happens is they end up kind of becoming a team, and they fly back so that he can reclaim his glory and beat this American guy. Porco can beat him. And then we kind of like jump forward. They have this really awesome dogfight at the end that turns into just like an all-out fist fight, and it's just gorgeously animated. Like all the scenes where they're flying around and the planes. At first, it almost looks like it's CG because they're moving so fluidly, but then you realize like CG would not look this good at the time. It is all cell animation. So yeah, it's like, and then ending the movie, we have Porco overcoming the American just barely, and then
but it wasn't for the love interest to like motivate him to get back up.
Yeah, which is a nice little thing.
Yeah, but so yeah, Porco, like voiced by Michael Keaton in the dub, which is cool.
I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was really like it felt a little out of character. I felt like because in my head I was thinking like what's his name, Oolong from Dragon Ball, the pig. In my head, I was thinking like, "Oh, that's
You're
how
a pig,
a pig man would have that kind of voice." Yeah. But he has this really he plays it like very like low and like kind of reserved, which I like.
Oh, he kind of keeps his cool, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like really cool. Like I loved him. Like
he was just great. He's so likable.
It was also like he was always cool, but then he would like burst into laughing. It would catch you by surprise.
Yeah, a really interesting character, like really dynamic character, which is so cool to see. Because I think a lot of movies can have like a problem where the main character is kind of just like the vehicle for the story and it's bland. But it really feels like he's got like this whole past and like everything around him is.
He goes to the restaurant and he meets up with like the girl, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you found your third husband dead. Like, he's your third husband. Like, they're all fighter pilots. They always go missing, and like, you're always there to cheer her up or whatever."
Yeah,
and,
he's like kind of like a constant in her life.
Yeah, he always like watches over her restaurant or / hotel.
Yeah.
So then the whole thing with like, the part with what's it called? I wasn't a big fan. I don't know. I guess it's just like a trope, but like the girl, the relationship they try to have with like the girl, like the 17-year-old girl.
It comes off as kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Especially.
But like you say, you wouldn't be interested though. But like he always blushes too with her.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. that's kind of a thing with anime. There's always kind of a bit of a like sexualization and like infatuation with younger women.
Yeah, Fio was like.
So what's her name? Sophia?
Fio, like Fio.
Okay. Yeah. They kind of, I don't want to say they sexualize her because they really don't, but they definitely make her kind of like a prize.
Yeah.
The American guy like sees her and immediately
she makes herself a prize though.
Yeah, there's kind of a little bit of reclamation there, but in the end, it's really like, oh, Porco has to fight for her honor, which is kind of just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think the movie needed that.
Yeah, but I always felt like you didn't need to make her like kind of like him. Like it should just been like the main girl, and like what's it called? Just like his trying like she was always
the French.
She was always the childhood. He was childhood friend with her, and like
that flashback was so good. That little flashback scene, I was like so touched.
Gina.
They did such a good job at like. Totally, like, wordlessly explaining their relationship in that little flashback.
Yeah, like her dress goes up, like, flying dress goes up, he blushes, like, it's all you need to show.
Like, and it really, at that point in the movie, it felt really special seeing him not as a pig, like, him as a human, because there's...
Where we tease about it, like, when he's at the restaurant eating, he's like, that's the only good picture I have of you before, when you were still human, like, the last picture we had, and you scrawled your face out. Like,
yeah.
And he said curse, but I was like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah, they did refer to it as a curse, and they never go into it.
They don't go deep into it until, like, where, like, you think you're like, oh, they're gonna talk about that, but you don't go like at least a little bit into it until like near the end, where like he's talking about like that's when he had his near death experience, like where him and his fighter pilot squad in World War I fight like a bunch of Germans, and he's the only one that survives, but like he passes out and like ascends to like I guess like on the cloud, like he's like landing on the cloud and like
it's almost like he's in the water, but he's on a cloud. He's on the threshold between like life and death.
What kind of plane are they? Like
they're like World War II fighter planes.
But they're called like the...
Oh, they were biplanes.
Yeah. But they go in the water, though. They have like the
seaplanes.
Seaplanes, yeah. So, yeah, but he's like riding like the clouds like the water, like a seaplane would. And then, like, he sees like all the other, like
fighter pilots... we presume is like fighter pilots who have died.
Yeah, from both sides. And it's heading to like a Northern Lights kind of like fighter planes. And I guess he has like guild of like kind of survivors guild kind of thing. Where, like, all definitely. The souls and like it's not his time yet to go. But like, and he's like, and at the end he's like, yeah, that was like my sign. Like
yeah, it's funny because when he tells Fia the story, she sees it as like, oh wow, you were given the second chance, and he sees it as I was rejected. Yeah, I'm not fit to be loved by anyone. I'm not fit to be around.
I'm a pig.
Yeah, he's
like he's telling me I'm a pig.
Mm-hmm.
And like pretty, because that's all you really get about that thing. And then another thing I didn't like what they did with him at the end though, but like when after he wins and like he's like because the Italian army comes out there because he has a giant like because he abandoned the military after that incident, and he goes on the run and like at the final fight the military comes after him and like him and the American guy fly away, but it's like your face, what happened to your face? Let me see it, and then you don't see anything, but the plane flies away. And then
they tease it.
Yeah, but and then it's like you get the thing like epilogue. Oh, shit, I haven't seen Porco since I became friends with Gina and blah blah blah. And about her dare, like the dare, because she had a thing where like if she waiting for the day for him to visit her garden during the day, and that would be the true love thing that like she was waiting for the official time, but he cares about her the same as much as she is to him. But then it just shows like the little like gazebo and doesn't actually like show him or a silhouette or something like that. Like if I would have
isn't that beautiful though? Isn't that a great ending? I love open-ended endings.
If at least showed me like a silhouette, like don't show him, just have like a black silhouette. At least give like
that's the point though. You watch the movie and it's like a look into this guy's life. He's like a puzzle, and then you're given a question at the end rather than an answer. Do you think, like based on the movie, do you think he went back?
Of course he did, but at least he gave a tease. But then they just did like the after credit thing where like you think, oh, you're actually gonna get something? Nope.
No, I liked it. I mean, it was kind of a little bit of a tease, but I mean, I think it felt appropriate. Like, It would have been a little too on the nose if they just, oh, he's a human now. So I like the.
I would like the silhouette, so you know he's there, but you're not sure what he looks like.
Yeah, I think with her also saying, "I never saw Porco again." Like,
she also like
she could have seen him as a human. You know what I mean? Like, she might have.
She also went back to like Milan.
That's true. But yeah, I don't know. I think I like when there's endings that kind of give you a little bit to think about, a little bit to chew on.
But yeah, also like, Theo was like another thing I wouldn't.
Really? I liked her a lot.
She was okay, but like there were some parts where like, but she like you don't like me because I'm a woman. It's like, oh, you understand that. Instead of like being like, you know, like a sassy Italian woman, I would expect to be like have an attitude like most Italian women.
That was the one like character breaking moment for me, because
there's a lot of that, and the first moment he really talked with her, like, is a lot of that.
Because yeah, they establish her as being like, she's very proud of her work. She doesn't really care what other people think. Yeah, at least initially, because she's a woman in a man's trade, at least at the time.
Well, especially with like the part where like Piccolo brings like the entire family of women, because all the men went off to find other jobs. Like they're all like sassy, they don't care about what he thinks. They're just gonna do the work. And like where she's like, oh, I can understand you not liking me. Like other ones don't give shit. Like all the grandmas don't go.
That one line, it was like that one. I really wonder what the original Japanese was. We watched the dub.
Yeah, that's theater had.
Yeah, which honestly I was happy with, because I wanted to see. Sorry, because I wanted to pay more attention to the visuals. But what was I saying? I really love that kind of like, because that felt very appropriate for the time period. The one thing that I thought was what I'm referring to, like all the women coming and working, because like obviously in World War II, like there were so many men, especially in Europe. Like if you're familiar with the concept of like a total war,
it's kind of like the same thing as like World War II had, where all the men went off the war, or like afterwards, or
they're dying. They just all die. So women had to step up.
Had to step up in like the factories and. Yeah,
and but the weird thing, the movie phrases it as the men went away for work, which I thought was interesting. Which maybe is like them attempting to avoid the draft.
Yeah, the thing is, like,
I don't know, they didn't explicitly say that.
My World War I knowledge isn't nearly as good as my World War II knowledge, and I do not know what Italy's involvement was in World War One.
Actually, I was a little rusty too. I was trying to think about that. They were definitely,
because like most time you hear is like on the most of the main European.
I think they flipped both times. I think they flip flop both times.
Probably, but yes, that's her whole thing. Like the like, I don't know. I expect her to be attitude or be her strong woman who fights for like it's like oh, I know you don't like women. It's fine.
She's fine. She's very passive in a weird way. Whereas for me, my like. I've seen Spirited Away the most, and like the main female in that movie is initially she's so independent, she's so abrasive, she's so distrusting of outsiders, and like the little
bit I watched of Princess Mononoke, like she was kind of like that too, where she was.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, unless I said
Spirited Away.
Damn it, I meant Princess Mononoke.
Okay, I was gonna say
Spirited Away. No, the main character in Spirited Away is a lot more passive.
Okay, but yeah, she's rough and tough like that.
Yeah, no, she's definitely like super abrasive. She does kind of like acquiesce later on, and like is more like, okay, she understands like her role in the world. But one thing I wanted to talk about was like, that was kind of another like, not letdown, but like I wish there was more of it. Like Miyazaki has like really strong women in his movies. Yeah, her like Theo is like kind of a like half measure, but like there's a character in Princess Mononoke who is like this British colonizer, sort of like she came in because there was all these like rare earth minerals and stuff, and the movie, even though the movie is very like eco-environmentalist, it does such a good job at not painting her as an antagonist, even though she does like really atrocious things.
It's a villain with a believable cause that you could see her like being right,
and she's there. That movie too has like this whole thing where it's like women working, and like women as not just like not like lower to men, like they're working with the men doing the same jobs.
With the bits of pieces I've seen of other movies, it just seemed kind of weird compared to like other movies like I've seen.
I think there is a very like interesting feminist like through line that you can draw through a lot of, at least the Miyazaki movies that I've seen.
Yeah, especially during wartime though, that's like the top thing of like women, girl power, like women can do anything.
Especially considering anime, like anime is very like Japan in general is so like gender they have such strong gender roles.
Yeah.
Even more so in like the West.
Yeah.
And like women doing certain jobs. It's only like recently that women started working like salary man positions. Like so it's really interesting to see like the biggest dude, like the Walt Disney, if you want to use
Walt
that term,
Disney of Japan, basically,
making statements like this. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But another thing, I talked earlier, I really like that part in the restaurant where she's like singing in French completely. Caught me by surprise. Like, oh wow, they're actually going with a full like French song. And I going through some trivia facts on IMDb, and like apparently like, Miyazaki, he prefers the French language cast over the Japanese cast.
Oh, that's so funny. I think I've heard that before, actually.
Yeah, that was really funny.
That is really funny.
So
yeah, we were talking about how it's like interesting how it's like set in Europe, and it's like so different.
I was reading some of these like facts, and it's like Miyazaki planned this to be like a 30 to 45 minute in-flight movie for Japan Airlines, but he made it into a full life.
Wow, that's so funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I like the main girl love interest because she was like on her own, like she ran a business on her own, and like she like knew how to do these the trades.
She was very confident. That's why I wish we saw more of her because I thought she.
Like, I think she disappeared for like a decent chunk. Like okay, she's gonna appear like into the like right when the fight begins to like motivate
she doesn't
her.
really do too much. I love her design though. I love how sexy not sexy she is. She's sexy in a way that like a Studio Ghibli character is like
as sexy as a Ghibli character can.
Yeah, and she has, I don't know, I just thought her design was really interesting. She was super tall.
Yeah.
Like no chest.
But another thing I noticed like how much attention to detail, like the flights, like the all the biplanes from like the World War One, like 30s era was like looked pretty accurate from what I've seen.
Yeah, the biplanes look pretty good. I don't really know the way that the engines
I think the engine thing may have been
I think that was more like a fantasy kind of like also for the audience to understand.
Another thing was like I mean like the pilots communicate before like radio was like a real thing. Yeah. Where they had like the flashes.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And sign language as well. There was which I really liked.
Yeah, they had like it looked like a special language like specifically for like using one hand to communicate. Yeah, there's a scene early on where it's like all the pirate like dudes combine, like they join forces to take out like a big hit, and they're all like communicating with the flapping light thing, and it's just such a fun scene because they're all like shouting it out loud while they're doing it, but they can't hear each other, so they have to read. I don't know. That was a really cool attention to detail.
But yeah, it's just so much detail. I guess I'm guessing he had a huge love for planes. I could tell.
Yeah, I'm not like an expert or anything, but the last film that he made, at least. The last film for this when this recording was done, he's working on another one even though he says he's retired already. It's actually a biopic about I think he's like one of the main manufacturer, like main developers of like the planes that were used by the Japanese during World War II. But it's like this really personal story where it's a figure that like Miyazaki really related to, and I really want to see it. It looks gorgeous. It's one of those movies I know I'm going to be like weeping for most of it though, so I'm very hesitant to watch it.
Yeah, but I like the American dude was pretty interesting. Like for an American, like a Western take on American, but he was going to be a Hollywood actor, like falls in love with like anything basically, and
that little bit joke at the end where it's like a old school Hollywood poster
and like then dinosaur, his cowboy dinosaur.
Yeah, his goofy face on it with all like the bumps and stuff.
So one thing I like where like he like punched him, he's like Gita, she loves you, she's been waiting for you every day. Like I think it's kind of like a little bit of jealousy or like envy on his side where he has like this girl like obviously like in love with this pig and like because she's like, oh yeah, this is your American view of love. We have this different thing here in.
I like country. That scene a lot. Where she was like, we don't just fall in love every day. Like, ooh.
But I really like, I love it. His character kind of grew. Like, I kind of liked him. Like, he wasn't like
the American guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was the cool thing about it, and I kind of saw it coming as like, the stakes weren't so high in this movie that we needed to have a villain. He just is like a dude with his own like kind of shitty motivations.
He's being paid or was famed to become more of a celebrity.
He's a very shallow person.
He wouldn't be president.
Yeah, which that was really funny because it's just like, oh yeah, how many fucking reality stars and actors have become president
now?
Well, Ron Reagan too.
Right.
Old Ron.
Yeah, but other than that, I really enjoyed this movie. Like,
it was awesome. It was gorgeous. I kept on saying, there's a scene when he's leaving Milan and he's flying back to...
You're probably going to try to find a gift to put it in.
I probably will, actually. I guarantee it's on Sakagaboro. But he's... Like, most of the shots with the planes, they're over water, or, like, the lands are just, like, hand-painted background.
Ocean or island or
yeah,
whatever.
so it's the plane that's the movement, but this one scene is from the plane's perspective, and it's...
He's, like, leaving Italy.
Yeah, and it's just... He's going over, like... I think it's, like, an island or, like, mainland, whatever, but it's all these rolling hills... And it's all cell animation. It's all hand animated.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard Jim cream his pants a little bit.
Yeah, I think I said, like, holy shit. Or, like, I was like, that's incredible. Because it was, like, 10 seconds or so of just, like... It looked incredible. It just... When I see things like that, I just am blown away. Like, I can't imagine the amount of work and, like... This is... Like, watching these movies, like, the first few minutes, I was just, like... Just the seasonal shit that we watch, like even like good stuff, like Megalobox is good.
I think we should try to review that once it's done because I would love to do a split.
I do love Megalobox, but like when you're making a seasonal show, you're telling a story, but the visuals are always going to be like sacrificed.
Visuals,
because you can't do like the gorgeous character animation that you can get when you see like these masters making a movie like this.
It's probably the biggest budget for Japan animators, so
yeah. Definitely.
And like, because they're part of Disney, probably it like helps that too.
And Miyazaki's such an auteur too. He hand corrects like all the storyboards. It's like there's a really good documentary on Netflix. It might not be on it. I recommend it. It's called like The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness, and it goes through pretty much the development of their last movie with him. And he's just this adorable little man who lives the most like Spartan lifestyle. Like I think his wife died, so he's like alone. But he's just like, yeah, I spend like 6 days working. I don't really do anything. I don't like watch any anime. Like I just work, and I love it. And they do this thing where they like while they're making, this is like for Spirited Away, but while they're like in cram time for a movie, they have it so like one person gets a day off, or the lunch break off, but they have to make lunch for everyone. So it was his turn, and he made just top ramen for everyone, and it's adorable because he has like a little apron on, and he goes around serving top ramen to these women that have their face covered with those like face masks, like just penciling away. He's like adorable old man.
But I recommend this. Like, it's like my first Ghibli movie I got completely through. So.
Which is, I doubt many people say that Porco Rosso is their first Ghibli film. So
I feel proud.
A funny claim to fame.
It's fine. I'll take it. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I recommend it. He's a very handsome pig man.
He's a very handsome pig man. I fucking love him. I want to be him. Like, I feel like he's like a dad goal. I want to be Porco Rosso.
Do you want to be Fox Dad or Pig Dad?
Oh, I do want to be Fox Dad now. I relate a lot to Fox Dad because he's very, like, he's very effeminate, and he cooks all the time and does like all the chores, and I'm like, yeah.
This pig man lives on a 10 on a deserted island, so
yeah, I wouldn't be cool with that.
I mean, it's not really deserted since everyone can just climb the rocks in and out, but whatever.
Yeah. I fucking love that location.
Would you recommend this movie?
Oh, 100%.
Especially the people who've never seen... Because it's kind of like, I guess, one of the lesser-known Ghibli movies compared to other ones.
Yeah, especially, like, the time it came out. Because everyone's always familiar with, like, the next two. I don't know. I think there's one between. But, yeah, Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke are, like, his two biggest, probably.
Yeah.
Ponyo, I guess, like, a third. But
yeah.
If you really, like... The charm of his movies, the charm of the Ghibli productions is, like, everywhere in this movie.
Yeah.
All the little details in the character animation.
Character's still like Ghibli character, just plenty of humor.
The incredible sequences, like some of the action sequences are just gorgeous to watch.
Yeah, you can also like a clear love for like dog fights and like war movies. So.
Yeah, it's so fun to see this, and it's not CG.
It was an adult movie for kids.
Yeah, it really was actually. We saw it in a theater, and there were some children there, and I was thinking like, this is a movie for kids, but it's also like he's drinking liquor a lot.
It's smoking. Like this is stuff kids would see. Like someone else would do. So
yeah, that's so funny because that really wouldn't fly anymore in a kids movie.
But yeah, I recommend it completely.
100%.
All right. Any other thoughts or things you want to say?
I'm definitely looking forward to watching more of these.
Yeah.
Because
it's easier to watch them in a theater, I think, because I get too comfortable watching them, and I will fall asleep because I fall asleep during anything.
You do. It really is such a treat to be able to see these movies in the theater. I think Fathom Events does it. I just want to give applause to Fathom Events.
Maybe we'll do next one if it's a good one.
Yeah, forget. Oh, it's Pompoko. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Pompoko is a story about a bunch of...
We should do a Ghibli month. We got to do the cat one.
Yeah, we do need to do the cat. We could totally do a Ghibli month, actually. Miyazaki.
We'll put it on the list.
Movember.
It'll be a Miyazaki.
May.
Miyazaki May. Except we're already almost done May.
Yeah,
though.
we're almost done May.
And we have a JoJo thing in between every the month.
Yeah, we kind of skimmed it.
But yeah. So anything else?
No.
Or he said he's handsome, so we don't need to answer that question.
He is, yeah. Pigman is very handsome.
But yeah, so I guess that's it.
Yeah. I almost said thank you for listening. We're not there yet.
All right. I guess. What? Anything you've been watching? You drank coffee. That's the end.
Yeah. So we just after the movie we went out to a diner and we had some coffee. And the waitress was pretty cool. She only charged us for one, even though we three of us had coffee.
You're the bro.
She was a bro. She also had a sheeb, and she really talked her ear off. Actually,
that's fine.
I was so funny.
Some waitresses need to vent. Let them vent.
Yeah, it's just really funny because like I could tell, like the other people we were with really were just like this kind of people that like want to get a reaction out of people, and like
I could tell.
Like definitely, I don't know. There's like I think that's like a really good skill to have.
You're good.
Oh my god, I thought there was a bug.
No, just my attention drifting off.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I that's one of those things. Like I wish that I had that like confidence where to be like, just ask people things. I'm very self-conscious.
Yeah. It's me too. So.
Hashtag me too.
Me too. No, don't do that. But so I guess what have you been watching? That's not related to Ghibli.
All right, that's not related to Ghibli. Okay. I actually was telling Sam about this earlier. I'm fucking in love with a show right now. Kare Kano, which is an old Gainax show from the 90s. It's called His and Her Circumstances in English. It's been a long time since I've actually like sat down and watched an anime by myself. Like I've watched shows with Sam here and there, but
yeah,
I was just like eating popcorn and I was like, you know what, I want to watch an anime. So I did. And I'm like, I think 5 episodes into it. And it's basically like this awesome romantic comedy. It's got like really inventive animation and like it's funny because it's done by Hideki Anno, the guy who did Ava and Gunbuster, among other things. And it's funny because his stuff is normally so serious and so heavy. And the first episode of this is like the main character is this girl who's like super great at everything. She's beautiful and everyone envies her. And then when she goes home, she like has her hair up in a weird way and she wears her like old sweat clothes and she's like total slob. And it's about this whole like really complex character study of like all these different characters. And it's so good. And I normally I'm not a huge fan of romance in anime.
Yeah.
But the way that
it's a tough genre to really get going and like get into.
For me, it is at least. I was never really like a romancy guy, and I'm always like I kind of hate watching romance sometimes because it makes me like sad.
Yeah, I really dug Yamada-kun's Seven Witches, and that was kind of like a romance. So, like,
was it or was it just ecchi?
No, it was it had a romance thing kind of going in it, such I kind of liked.
Well, but yeah, Kare Kano is like it's really in like that melodrama, which when anime does melodrama, I'm like super into it because it's just like, oh, love it.
Yeah. Anything else?
I've been reading Golden Kamuy. I don't know if I talked about this last time.
You said you started reading it.
Yeah, so I started. I'm not super far into it. I've read the first couple
chapters.
Yeah, maybe the first dozen or so. And I really like it. And it sucks because I started watching the anime and it...
CG Bear.
Yeah.
Just watch the first episode and you will understand. Or just look up the bear scene. You'll understand.
In Gigic's new video, he pretty much points out the goofy bits of it. Like, there's this horrible looking bear.
It's hilarious. Like, we got probably one of the best laughs out of that.
There's a fire in it and it's just a Photoshop effect. It is just... Or an After Effect. It's like...
It's amazing. You'll get so much entertainment out of that first episode.
It really sucks because like
it had potential.
The more I read the manga, I'm just like, this is so good and funny, and it hits my itch where I love like cooking and I love characters eating food that's really good. And so much of Golden Kamuy, at least so far, is like him and this girl in the wilderness, and they're like hungry, so like all right, let's go hunt squirrels. So they hunt squirrels, and it's like, all right, I don't have any like thing to cook it with, so we're gonna do this thing where we just chop up the squirrels entire bodies for like hours and hours, and we just keep chopping and taking turns, and then we eat it. And then he's like, actually, I'm gonna put some miso in that, and he eats it. It's like, wow, this is really good. And that's like, I love it. I don't know, it scratches my itch.
Anything else?
No.
Violet Evergarden you finished, or that last time?
I think I talked about that already. I liked Violet Evergarden. It's pretty good.
All right.
It was solid like 8 out of 10.
Cool.
Very beautiful. Not as it like I don't know. It had like the finale in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
That was really jarring because I was like watching it and then everything was wrapping up. They wrapped up every other character's storyline in like a little ending scene, and I was like crying. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. And then I look, it's like 5 more episodes. It's like, oh, okay. And it was still good, but there's one episode of Violet Evergarden that is like, it ripped my heart out of my body and destroyed it.
Yeah, I hate when anime do that.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a sucker for that. I love crying at Chinese cartoons. But yeah, oh my god. If you've seen Violet Evergarden, I'm talking about the lake episode. Jeez, I'm getting like a little teary-eyed thinking about it.
Happens.
It's rough. How about you, Sam? What have you done?
I watched this really good true crime documentary called Evil Geniuses, or Evil Genius.
Baby Geniuses.
It's Evil Genius, but it's about like a crazy bank heist. I highly recommend if you're interested in true crime at all. It's really fascinating. Or if you're like just interested in like the psychology of these kind of people, I definitely give it a watch. It's 4 parts, like each like 45 to 50 minutes. Recommend it completely. It's awesome. And then I also watched like the first like 3 or 4 episodes of Hinamatsuri. It's like this new seasonal anime about like a Yakuza guy who finds like a prisoner, like a psychic prisoner girl. She's randomly appeared from a portal and like takes care of her, or like he's like afraid to like let her go because she'll like kill or destroy his shit.
I really want to watch this. I heard it's good.
She's like a mix of Kana, like Stitch, and like the Mob Psycho powers, and like he's like, I don't know. And then there's like also like her like a friend she meets at like school because she convinces him to want to go to school. And like she just unwillingly becomes like a bartender at like the main Yakuza bar. It's like amazing. There's like this an episode dedicated to her like experience at the bar.
That sounds awesome. That sounds right up my alley.
There's like because like about these mini episodes, like there's like another prisoner come in, like track her down. Like she becomes like trapped but homeless. It's like really funny. Like it's interesting. There's some just really fun to watch. Like I've enjoyed it. And like just watched like the first part like 5 minutes. There's like an amazing like animated fight scene. It has like 0 context so far with like, but I really enjoy that one.
That's what I miss in watching anime. I like having fun. Like
this thing reminds me of like also kind of reminds me of Gintama and like things. So it's kind of goofy kind of stuff like that. But
yeah, I need to check it out. It looks like a lot of fun. Or it has a great premise. That sounds like
definitely give the first episode or 2 a try. It kind of goes like these 2 over spots, but like the 2 episodes I watched were kind of broken like 2 stories like between the episodes, like different characters. So, I'm trying to think of anything else I've really watched. I don't think so. No, that's it. I'm trying to think. I haven't got that far into Nier to really talk about anything. So.
Yeah, Nier's great. I love it. Nier Automata.
All right, I guess that's it then. Jim, where can they find us?
There was something else I wanted to talk about. About Porco Rosso, but I can't remember.
Save it for next time, or edit it in post.
I was thinking about editing it in. Shit, I forgot about it again. Whatever, it's not important.
All right, where can they find us, Jim?
You can find us on YouTube.
Yes.
Where you're probably listening, because that's where we get most of our traffic. At the Nyancast. We also do a side show called. Oh wait, we're also on iTunes at the Nyancast. Please go on and leave us a review or whatever.
Subscribe
also. We're also on. We have a side show called Joe Kakakaka.
YouTube only.
Yes, where we talk about JoJo and the newest JoJo chapter. Yes. So if you're a fan of JoJo...
We recently talked about one of the spin-off mangas, The Spoke Rohan.
I look... Okay, that was so funny. I want to get it right. I looked up the actual literal translation of The Spoke Rohan, and it's actually hilarious.
You're telling me it's like really weird.
Yeah, I want to get it right. It's like Rohan never budges or something. like... I just love Rohan Kishibe does not move.
Okay.
Which is
he's like a tree.
Really funny.
He's like a tree.
I do love the title that spoke Rohan, but yeah. So if you are a fan of JoJo, I recommend checking that out because I mean, who doesn't like JoJo fans are like the most desperate. Like we'll take any fucking thing, any content. Like a Nurse Shark bottom feeding.
It's like us. We're up to date. We're like crawling for any like. Part 8 or Part 5 anime news, like every other fan. Like once you get caught up on the manga, like once you do that, like the struggle is real.
That's like the glass ceiling being broken. Like catching up on catching up on a manga, especially a manga that has an anime, so like there's more popularity.
Yeah.
Like that's for me with how what's it called, Land of the Lustrous right now, where it's just like the chapters are even shorter than JoJo ones too. They're like 15 pages long, I think.
Yeah.
So when I get a new one every month, I'm just like, because right now it's at a point. I won't spoil anything. It's at a point where there's so much like new information being given. Like they kind of wall it around for a bit, but now it's like things are happening really fucking fast, and I'm like, I hang on like every fucking word.
Yeah.
There should be new in like 2 days. I'm so excited.
You also can follow the Nyancast on Twitter, where Jim usually
uses in control. So pretty much whenever you see the words me or referring to one person, it's just me.
Yeah. Follow me at Gokai-kun. And then that's probably it. All the plugins.
All the plugins.
All the Glade plugins.
All the Glade
that doesn't sponsor us yet.
No, yeah. Who's our first sponsor gonna be? That's not Glade plugins.
Crunchyroll.
You know what? I would be so happy if Crunchyroll.
You just want to meet Dana Scully.
Dana Scully, no. Rena Scully.
Rena Scully. I don't know. You. I don't follow the Crunchyroll girls like you do.
Rena Scully, I think you're great. You're just awesome.
Sure.
You were great at the Crunchyroll Awards. That was fun.
You're so great when My Hero won every award.
She actually was hilarious at the Crunchyroll Awards because you could tell, I forget the guy's name, but her and the other guy that were given, like, they sat at a table and they literally were given, like,
the pre-show. You
need to fucking fill time. Like, we're gonna be cutting between, like, a red carpet that has 4 people on it and you're gonna need to fill like 40 minutes worth of time.
I wish it like would cut too early and to see him like have a bottle of wine like downing like before you take.
There were definitely a few mistakes, but yeah, I love you guys. I love Crunchyroll. I also just bought a Ranma figure from Crunchyroll, and it's fucking great. And it was a great deal.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
I need to. I feel like I need to get a Crunchyroll subscription.
It's up to you. I want to get a new figure, but I'll probably wait till next con.
Yeah. I almost got that Gwenpool one, but I didn't need it. I didn't need it. I have no space for it. My fucking shelf's all full.
My goal was to get the last Dragon Ball Z character I really want figure, which is Vegeta, because I have 2 of the villains I want and Bardock. So, and Trunks already, so got 1 more and I'll be happy. So.
Alright, this has been Root Beer Talk.
It's been Figure Talk.
It's
been Figure Talk.
Post Nyancast. This is the Nyancast show.
The late night.
What's it called? The Talking Dead? This is the Talking Cast. The meowing. No, we'll think of something.
Late night meow.
It has technically Nyancast After Dark. I did say that in the beginning. I remember. Wait, fuck! I forget. This is gonna be the most droning after show.
Just like black coffee, black talk. No.
Shit, blood.
I don't know, man.
I remember what I was gonna say about Porco Rosso. I'm probably not gonna edit this in, but I'm just gonna leave it here. So, it's actually not even really a point, but
then just end it now.
I need to talk about this. What is the importance of the whole like kiss thing and him turning back? Like, because from my point of view, I've seen a lot of videos about Revolutionary Girl Utena, and Utena's whole premise is about deconstructing fairy tales and like
fucking Utena.
I don't even like Utena that much, but
you say that, but you don't stop talking about it.
It's because it's such an important anime. It's so fucking important. I don't like the Great Gatsby, but it's a pretty important book. But so Utena's all about like taking and like deconstructing fairy tales. What is because I immediately got like, oh, this is like a fairy tale thing. Like they're definitely making equivalents to like the Frog Prince and like him.
And she kisses him on the lips or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering like, why?
I think as he said that he should have had a moment like saying like, "Were you really waiting for me to like," or something like that to her, like to Gina. Like I think that would.
Because if it didn't really feel appropriate for her to be the one, it should have been like his.
Should have been Gina.
Yeah. But I guess in a way, like, you could say that just, like, her as, like, a force in his life, like, she like, guided his life. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Gina should have more of an impact in the movie, that where, like, she should have been, like he was, like, a mentor towards her than more of, like, a romance kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was weird. Right.
I'm gonna stop.
I don't know, I guess that's the end of our show, then.
Oh, yeah.
You can edit that in or whatever if you want.
Yeah, we'll see what I do with that. Alright, thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.